Hello Pisces, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is your weekly tarot forecast. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Also go check out the other videos that may pertain to you for your sun, moon, or rising signs. I think that'll give you a much more dynamic picture of what's going on this week, all right? It's a good way to get kind of more perspectives on the situation. Okay, now let's get into it. What does Pisces need to know for this week? What is the energy? What is the situation with Pisces? Pisces, okay. All right, we've got the Hermit energy starting us out. That's an interesting way to go. And we're going to lay out the rest of our Dove and Serpent spread, and that is going to include our confirmation card, mystery card, bonus card. We're not going to reveal that until the very end, so stick around. And we're going to see if that might tie this reading together or give us the confirmation that we're looking for at the end. Okay. Let me just arrange things a little bit. Okay, so, yeah, we see, I wonder, I don't even know where to start. I wonder if there was a recent breakup in your life. Did you recently get out of a relationship? Because we're going straight from this Lover's card into that Hermit energy. Okay. So I'm thinking, and I could be wrong, let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm right too. I think that you recently got out of some relationship, or that at the very least you're considering getting out of this relationship. There's something calling you back to yourself, right? There's something I feel like that is holding you back in this relationship from yourself, from this desire to kind of turn inward and focus your energy on yourself and self-care, self-love, those things that we talk about a lot here. And really find your inner light again. Find yourself, right? I feel like if you didn't recently get out of a relationship, you're thinking about it now. You're really, really seriously giving it some thought, okay? Because again, there's something that is calling you back home, back to yourself, back to your inner self, your true light, your true spirit, your higher self, all of that stuff. And I think that the cards are agreeing with you, that it is probably time to do that. What is coming to you through this kind of retirement, this returning home, returning to yourself, this focus inward, right? Self-love, self-care, meditation, doing you for a little while. I think what's coming from that is a real sense of strength and power and confidence. And this is going to realign. You see how this is the Nine of Wands, how that central wand there connects the sun and the moon. This could mean a lot of things. This one is the connection between your head and your heart, right? You're going to kind of learn what it is that you really desire in life, and you're consciously going to be aware of that. So your conscious mind is going to be in great harmony with your heart, with your desires, your more unconscious will, right? This is also it kind of looks to me like the spinal column, right? If you're into, yoga and meditation and the Eastern philosophies, this is kind of the chakra system. This is kind of, the base chakra here and the crown chakra there. And it's just a perfect alignment of those. So again, it is kind of your, the foundations of your being, the very base of you, right? That's connected with the highest, connected with that divine source, that spark of spirit, with, Atman, Brahman, whatever you want to call it, right? With that absolute, with just the higher parts of your mind, with your true spirit and will and intention, that higher part of your psyche, of your spirit, right? So whatever terms you want to use, I think the idea is very similar in any kind of terminology that we use. But it's a real connection between your head and your heart, your external and your internal, the higher and the lower, those pairs of opposites that we are, right? Ourselves and God or spirit or the higher spheres of reality. And again, whatever you want to call it whatever you want. I think you understand. But I think that's what you'll gain from this this semi-retirement, this temporary withdrawal from the world, or if you do get out of this situation. Now, this situation, it feels to me with this, because this is the Lover's card. This is pretty intense. I think this was a very serious relationship, or it is now, currently. I think this is something that you're not going to leave this relationship just on a whim, right? I think you have to feel this calling from your inner self, from spirit, whatever. I think you really have to be hearing that quite loudly for you to consider leaving this relationship. Or if you have already left that relationship, I don't think it was an easy thing to do. I think it was a very serious, committed relationship. It could have really felt like that soulmate, perfect union kind of thing. Okay? But that is telling me that this need, this calling within you must be very, very strong and very, very intense if it kind of overpowered the seriousness or the commitment or the bond of that relationship, right? If it was enough to kind of dissolve that, at least for now, nothing's permanent, then this must be a very, very important thing for you to do. Okay? And we see some other indications here of why that might be, why it might be so important, and what the results of that will be. Okay? So we spent a lot of time already on those cards, but that's okay. I think those are very important. I wanted to emphasize that because it feels like through this process, a lot is going to happen for you. By taking this time to turn inward and reconnect with yourself, unite the higher and the lower, right? Get your chakras all activated and in line, whatever you want to call it. It's going to have a lot of wonderful results for you. The first result I have, well, this is a pretty obvious one, this solar radiance, this just having your entire being, right, every aspect of you just radiant and fulfilled and electric and on fire. So this is physical health and abundance. This is mental acuity, clear thinking. This is just the beauty of your thoughts, like you've never had this many ideas, this creative flow from your mind. And this is your heart. This is your heart being open to receive love. This is receiving the love and warmth from the world around you, but also from yourself. This is what happens when the sun and the moon conjoin, when the higher and the lower, the inner and the outer unite. It creates just this almost blinding radiance, right? And there's really no words to describe this. It's just fulfillment and radiance and abundance on every level, okay? And it's just, you're exuding this warm love and energy, and you're receiving at the same time. It's unbelievable, beyond words. So this is one result, I think, of this work. If you choose to go this route, or continue on this route if you already are on this path, I think the results of this are going to be unbelievable. It's going to be blinding just how radiant your world becomes. Okay? And another major factor here, I think one of the reasons why this seems to be such a strong calling is this Princess of Discs. And she is here to kind of emphasize the fact that you need this independence. You need this confidence in yourself that you are taking care of yourself, that you are in control, that you are strong and independent and confident and assertive. You are like this Princess of Discs, where if you set your mind on something, you're going to accomplish it. You have the power and the ability, the skill, the talent, the drive to accomplish all of your goals for yourself. You don't need anybody. You're not relying on anybody else. This is an indication that you are okay how you are, who you are, with what you are becoming. And this is also a sense of responsibility. This is this idea that we would rather try and fail on our own than to be successful in somebody else's shadow or because of somebody else's efforts. No, this is your efforts to manifest in your world whatever you desire, okay, whatever your goals are. And also with this Princess of Discs, this is being open to receiving love and warmth and blessings and nurturing from everyone around us, from the world itself, from nature, from our family, our friends, our romantic partners. If you are still in a relationship, this might sound strange, but these cards that we're talking about, this doesn't mean that you have to leave the relationship. And I may have implied that at the beginning, but I don't think that's really necessarily the case. It could be, and it's going to resonate differently for different people who are watching this. And maybe you'll let me know in the comments what the kind of the majority of the interpretation is here for you guys. But I feel another possibility is that this relationship is so strong that it will survive you taking this period of time, however long it is, to turn inward, to go back home into yourself, to take that path, right? It doesn't mean that the relationship is gone forever. Like I said, nothing is permanent. So it may be a temporary kind of retreat, withdrawal, turning inward, returning home to do this work, to achieve this level of kind of self-reliance and confidence and openness and acceptance of all of the love and nurturing and the warmth and the abundance around you, and also to take care of you, to establish your own identity, your own abundance, your own success and achievements. Okay. And that also is coming by way of this radiance. And I think these two really are together, right? It is, by doing one, you're enhancing the other. And by doing the other, you're enhancing the one. So it really is, this is kind of a very symbiotic, very reciprocating kind of relationship here with yourself and with the universe and the world around you, your reality, the physical world too, So the more you shine, the more you radiate your light, the more you're going to receive abundance and blessings and grace and nurturing and care and support from the rest of the world. But you are creating your own identity, your own responsibility, your own confidence, and your own power to create your reality. Okay. Another underlying factor, and this we're going to talk a little bit about, I think, about this relationship or just your feelings in general, the Seven of Cups. Now, we get the Seven of Cups sometimes here, and we just think it's just like things are decaying, things are turning sour, right? The wine is turned to vinegar. I think a little bit of this is happening with you. I don't know that it's in terms of the relationship specifically, whether you're in one right now or not. It could be the one that you just got out of. I don't think it's necessarily that specifically. I think this is a general feeling that you have in life right now, where a lot of the things that used to taste like a sweet wine are now starting to taste kind of sour and kind of like vinegar. So I think you're just losing a little bit of interest in things. Things don't feel the same anymore. And I think that's another reason. And this might be something that haven't been quite aware of. Maybe now that I'm saying it, you're like, God, yeah, it has felt like that lately. But I think this is an underlying factor and why there's this really strong, powerful need to, again, return home, return inward to yourself, reunite your sun and your moon, right? And I think it's because you have this, and this tendency is, I think it's going to be solved by this work, especially with this sun and this princess here, right? Everything's going to have that sweetness again. But I think since things are a little sour to you in general, not in any one specific things, it's just like a general feeling that things have lost a little bit of their luster, a little bit of their flavor, I think this is a motivating factor. I think this is one reason. Again, it could be just below the surface, something that you kind of were aware of, but not fully. But I think now you are. Now that I say it, you're probably having that, damn it, yeah, it has been like that. And I think that, again, is why there's such a heavy draw to do this work right now for you. And I think it's the perfect time at least in the northern hemisphere, the seasons are changing. It's getting colder. It's really the perfect time to kind of go inward and do that work, right? We're going to move on to the path of the serpent now. We spent a lot of time on the path of the dove here. I apologize for that, but a lot was going on there. It felt like there was a lot that needed to be said. This is a card representing what's been on your mind lately, day to day. I think you've been overthinking about a lot of this lately, and it could be specifically related to what we talked about on the path of the dove, which was that this intense draw that you feel to withdraw from your circumstances and go inward, return home, do that inner work, right? It could be that you've really been trying to figure out what is wrong. Why does life not feel quite right now? What is this issue that I feel? And you've been trying to mull it over in your mind for a long time. And I think you've kind of been reaching the end of that power to think about it, to analyze it, right? The Ten of Swords, it's kind of, there's been so much thinking going on that now it's just kind of disorganized. It's kind of falling apart. It's just, it's been going at full speed for so long that parts are starting to fly off, springs are popping out. It's time to settle that down, I think, and stop with the overthinking. I think you're in your head a lot in these last few days at least. But it seems like there's a lot to think about because you have this feeling, you're in this situation now, and it's more of a feeling, right? You feel this draw, this need, this urging, this calling to kind of take a step back from your relationship and return home, return inward, that sort of thing. But it's more of a feeling. So it's difficult for you to rationalize it and think about it intellectually. And I think that's why, the thoughts have been kind of going nowhere, and it's just been going full speed for so long that it's starting to fall apart, right? The next card that we come to is an Ace of Wands in the position of your relationship. So what I feel like is if you just got out of a relationship or you're thinking about leaving your relationship, but at the same time it does feel like it's a perfect relationship, and so basically the whole situation we're in now. I think this Ace of Wands is indicating that when the time is right, you could reignite that, right? And it may be with somebody else, right? It may be with this particular person. If this really does feel like that soulmate situation, that perfect union situation, this spark of fire, of flame, of chemistry, of love, passion, desire, attraction will still be there when you're done with this work on the path of the dove. It'll still be there. It could be reignited. It's like when you kind of chamber an ember, right? You keep it real low, but it's still there, and you just pack it up, you wrap it tight so it doesn't go out, but you can carry it with you, and then when you need it, you can light another fire. I don't know, I watch a lot of nature shows. But it's that same kind of idea, but that spark will still be there. And when you're done with this, right, I'm not saying give mixed messages, mixed signals, or lead someone on, nothing like that, but I'm just saying that when the time is right and when you're ready, you will still have this spark of fire within you. And if this really is a soulmate situation, they will have that spark of fire. And you could be dating in between, whatever, I don't know. But the point is that when the time is right, if it was meant to be, it'll happen. And this fire, this Ace of Wands is indicating that, yes, that of course is a possibility, right? And that will be there when the time is right. Now we have some pretty obvious cards here next. I'm going to just kind of breeze through these. This is the Five of Discs in the position of your worries, your concerns. I think this is obvious. If you do leave this relationship or you do return home, return inward, follow the path of the dove, are you going to upset your life? Is there going to be this turmoil and chaos now in your physical world? Are you going to just kind of like blow up the situation that you have, with your security and your stability and your financial situation? There's all these like tangible, physical, practical things to kind of think about and worry about. So this is one thing that might be causing you a little bit of hesitancy or internal debate. It could be related down here to this Ten of Swords that we saw, this overthinking, analyzing, trying to figure it out. Because are you going to be just kind of putting some chaos into the system, right? Are you going to be causing a little bit, too much turmoil in the tangible, physical, actual situation, right? The practical, physical part of it. Your living situation, finances, all that stuff. So there is that worry and that anxiety there, that your decisions are going to disrupt the flow, disrupt the security, safety that you've got going on. But the next card is that Prince of Discs, and this is saying, look, whatever happens, you can do the work to rebuild things or to figure out a way to just kind of be on your own for a while and have that security and stability of your finances and your living situation. All that stuff is solvable, right? And that's what the Prince of Discs is saying. These worries here, again, it's like question, is this going to be a risk? Is this going to upset things? Well, here's your answer. Question and answered. It's solvable. It's going to take some work or whatever, but it's kind of the least of the concerns, right? You'll be able to figure that part out. Don't let that stop you from doing what you need to do. So I think that's pretty straightforward. We're going to now look at this confirmation card, this mystery card. And we have the Lust or Strength card. This is that fiery energy that I think is really confirming that, whatever you decide, you have to really unite with that. You have to have the passion and the enthusiasm to go for it. Go all the way with it. So if you decide to do this work and return home and leave this relationship, you have to commit. You have to have as much passion for yourself and for the work that you're doing and for the path that you're taking, that nothing can stop you, nothing can get in your way. You have to be in complete control, not allow any distractions. You have to really own it and be in charge and be in control of that just kind of animal energy and passion and strength to really unite yourself with the work that you're doing, unite yourself with the path that you've chosen, and it's going to work out great, right? And this is that passion and that enthusiasm and that lust for life, this lust for the work that you're doing. And I think it's really going to create some radiance and abundance in your life in just unimaginable ways. So I think this really is a confirmation. This is the key of it all. And this is commit to what you decide. When you make this choice, stick to it, do it. Do it with all you've got, do it with all your passion, all of your energy, and it's going to work out wonderfully and amazingly for you. It's going to be abundance and love and radiance all around you. Pisces, we're going to look at this a little bit more in the extended version. You can become a member of the channel by hitting the link in the description box. This was your weekly tarot forecast on Dove and Serpent Tarot. Thank you.